Whew. God, it is cold out here. Why am I doing this? Oh. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me as always. If you're new here, my name is Matt. This is my 2017 BMW 440i. And today is going to be a 2-year ownership review since buying the car, which I bought the car back in October 2022. So it's a little bit over 2 years, but nonetheless, today is going to be an ownership review on the car, more of a long-term ownership. I have a pretty good beat on the car at this point. I understand it pretty well, its needs and how it needs to be driven, stuff like that. Today, the primary focus is going to be first on the tangible things. We're going to do a walk around the car, talk about like gas mileage, drivability, maintenance, stuff like that. And then we'll get in the car and take it for a drive and talk more about like the intangible things, which is more like, how do I feel when I drive the car? 2 years into it, does it still put a smile on my face? Stuff like that, just like overall emotions when driving the car and when owning it. So let's hurry up and do this walk around because it is literally freezing out here. If you can't tell in my voice, I'm shaking right now. I don't know why I'm out here doing this, but I really owe you guys a video because I've been slacking for a long time, and it's really not fair to the people that continue to subscribe and to support me. So what I really need to do is get back into the game, and I think this topic is going to be a really good one to kind of ignite the fire again. So let's get back to it. So for anybody who's short on time, let me just cut straight to the chase and say that my ownership in the last 2 years has been freaking amazing with this car. Coming from a 2011 N55 335i, that car had a lot of problems. It continues to have problems, and this car's just been rock solid the whole time. So it's been nothing but confidence inspiring, and I freaking love it after 2 years. So let's get into the details of that. And anyone who is just looking for a quick yes or no, the answer is yes. Car is great, so go buy one. So let's start by talking about the maintenance because that's probably what most people care about. If you're tuning into this video, chances are you're interested in buying one of these, or maybe you just bought one and you want to know what the maintenance is like. And I just said that the car was rock solid, and I really meant it. That goes for the maintenance too. Really, in the 2 years that I've owned this car, the only things I've had to do has been standard routine maintenance, like brakes, oil changes, standard stuff like that. Engine wise, the car has been completely solid. People will complain that it drains coolant. You got to top off the coolant every once in a while, but it's been a year since I topped off the coolant, and there hasn't been any issues with that. The car's been totally solid. I did say in my last review that I was having one issue with the X-Drive system, and there's multiple reasons for what that could be, but to be honest, I haven't even worried to address it because the issue pretty much went away. And it's been a good 8 months to a year since I've gotten the chassis code on my iDrive system. And even when that would happen, it would just throw me into comfort mode, and I wouldn't be able to put it back in sport unless I turn the car off, turn it back on, which is an annoyance more than anything. But even that went away, and the car's been driving great for the last year, so I haven't bothered to fix it. And that's legit the only mechanical fault that I've experienced with this car is this chassis code that pretty much is like a ghost issue. Other than that, the maintenance has been great. I really don't have too much to speak to with the maintenance, and I guess that's a good thing. Engine-wise, drivetrain, all that stuff, rock solid. This car is stage 2 tuned, it's JB4 tuned, it's got the intake, a catted high flow downpipe, and a dual resonator delete. So it's pushing over 400 horsepower, which is still kind of slow for B58s, but I'm not a person who likes to push the boundaries of what the platform can achieve. I just want a fast, reliable BMW. Anyway, that's exactly what this car has been in the last 2 years, is fast and reliable. As far as gas mileage is concerned, that's also been great because this car has 4 different modes: Eco Pro, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. And the difference between Eco, Pro, and Sport Plus is actual night and day. It's insane. I don't even touch Eco Pro because it's too slow, and the car does that stupid thing where it turns itself off when you come up to a red light. So lowest I'll go down is the Comfort mode, and even in Comfort mode, going down to the Outer Banks, I took a 7-hour road trip from Maryland to North Carolina, and the car got over 31 miles to the gallon, which is incredible. So that's awesome for a car that you can just pop into Sport Plus and do like a 3.5 second 0 to 60 launch whenever you want. So if you're looking for a daily commuter car, this could actually work pretty well too, because the gas mileage is a lot better than people think. So for those of you who have been steady supporting the channel for a while now, you might notice I upgraded my audio. Finally got an external mic, so hopefully everything works out and I don't have to just scrap this video. So yeah, I mentioned the tangible things. This car maintenance wise has been rock solid. Like I said, oil changes, standard maintenance stuff. That's all this car has needed in the 2 years, and it's at 111,500. Still pretty fresh for what I'm used to, but over 100,000 miles is definitely something to consider. There's a lot of debris in the road. I need to go slow. I was just talking with an N54 owner who is, mind blown as well by how much the reliability has improved in their engines. And not just their engines, but their first iterations of their engines. Reliability has been great. Nothing bad to say there. Gas mileage, like I said, even when you're getting into it and you're in sport mode and you're ripping it around like I do, it gets like 25 mpgs, 24 mpgs. So yeah, the overall driving experience, having this car for 2 years, it's been an incredible experience. I modded it just to the point where it is how I like it, and I didn't feel the need to mod it any further. The car is already super fast. It sounds so good too. I hope you guys can pick up even a little bit of that with this new mic. I'm not really sure. This car has been plenty of places. I've taken it on, a 7-hour road trip from Maryland down to the Outer Banks, North Carolina. I've taken it to Deep Creek multiple times, which is a 3-hour drive away from where I live, 3.5 hours. I daily drove it for a 1.5 years and put 15,000 miles on it the first year. And that was at 84,000 miles is when I started. That's what I bought the car at. The car's been solid ever since. So like I said, this is a Gen 1 2017 440i. It's got the Gen 1 B58. And these things are really dropping in price. So there's probably a lot of young guys out there who are looking into getting one of these. And I still highly recommend it. I recommended it a year ago when I did my 100K reliability review. And a year later, I'm still recommending it. So yeah, this car, it's like a perfect daily driver commuter and then a perfect monster of a car when you want it to be. And I think I mentioned this already, but it's got those 4 modes. And the difference between Eco Pro and Sport Plus is like seriously night and day. For example, I'm in comfort mode right now and it's quiet. It shifts kind of doggish, the shifting, it slows down to promote comfort. And like right now I'm doing 45 miles per hour and I'm in 7th gear. So the RPMs are super low. As far as power is concerned, that's not great, but like when you're just daily commuting, that's awesome. And then if you want, pop her into Sport Plus, drop a couple gears, and then and it literally turns into a whole different car. Now don't get me wrong, it's not the fastest BMW in the world. It's not the fastest B58 by any means. It just feels so fast and so planted because it's the all-wheel drive system. And then I'm also on KW V3 coilovers. So I never really experienced this car before on stock suspension. But on coilovers, it handles super well. I think a good way to describe my overall ownership is that my 2011 335i, that was very much and continues to be a love-hate relationship. Whereas this car has been all love. There's been no hate. It hasn't left me stranded. It hasn't pissed me off because of like a way that it's designed. All the components in the car are relatively easy to get to. I say relatively because BMWs are notorious for having all that plastic crap, which this car is no exception. I utilize the website FCP Euro, and if you guys haven't heard of that, you should really be utilizing that. That or ECS Tuning, because they both now offer a lifetime warranty on all their products, including fluids. So wear and tear items, like those drilled and slotted rotors I got, they're from ECS, because when the time comes for me to replace them, I'll just cash in my warranty and get a new set for free. So little tricks like that will save you a ton of money. Oh, it makes me giggle every time I do a pull in this car. It gives you that like giggly feeling in your stomach. Yeah, overall, like I said, I'm trying to talk about the intangible things, and I might have already mentioned this, but the car just puts a smile on your face every time you drive it. Every time you park it, every time I park it, I gotta look back at it. During the summer, I got the kids in the neighborhood like egging me on to rev it and stuff. And it just seems like everybody likes the car, from soccer moms to, avid BMW enthusiasts. As far as like creature comforts, the car is super practical. It's got a backup camera. It's got the different driving modes. Like I said, it's got Apple CarPlay, touch sensitive controls down here, paddle shifters. It's got a heated steering wheel, heated seats. And this car isn't even all the packages. It could have more creature comforts. As far as looks, that's subjective, but I think the 4 Series is the best looking series of BMW. And specifically the 440 versus the 340. The 440 gets those fender vents in the front, just behind the front wheels. And actually, you should take note that the Gen 1, so my 2017 pre-LCI 440, the fender vents are real. Whereas the new generations, I don't know why they take a good thing and just intentionally make it worse, but they're no longer real. They're fake now on the newer versions. So if you get a pre-LCI, just know that your vents are going to be real. And that's one thing that you get with the 4 Series over the 3 Series is you get those fender vents, and I think that looks way more sporty. And also the back end is just wider. Like I said, it's subjective, but I think the 440 looks incredible. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is storage. Because this is the coupe, the back seats fold down, and you could fit a whole pair of skis in there. Actually, I took this car skiing last winter, me and my girlfriend, and we put I had skis in there, her snowboard, both of our luggage bags. You can take a comfortable road trip with you and a significant other in this car and have no issues. It's actually bigger than my 3 Series, my 335. Even though it's the coupe, the overall, volume of space inside this cabin is bigger than my sedan E90. All right, guys, so I'm back here home with Thing 1 and Thing 2. And I hope you enjoyed this 2-year ownership review video. I really wanted it to be more organic and just convey the message that while this car was love-hate, this car has just been nothing but love. And I highly recommend the 2017 440i. Even if you're in my situation and your car has 110,000 miles or more, that doesn't really seem to be that high for these cars because the B58 has been so reliable. I haven't had to do any maintenance on it. If you're looking for a yay or nay, the answer is yay. And that's going to do it for this one. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Peace.